Imagine a dazzling spotlight shining down, the crowd roaring, her name echoing in arenas. Now imagine that same spotlight flickering, the roar turning into whispers, the promise dissolving into something unexpected. That is where this story begins, not at a red carpet premiere, but in the quiet that follows the applause. Teyana Taylor. The name evokes power, sensuality, artistry. A woman who danced her way into our hearts, who refused to be hidden, who dared to shine. But behind the glamour, behind the Instagram posts and headlines, there's a moment, a shocking incident that threatened everything. What nobody expected was how raw the fall would be, how public the unraveling, how much betrayal and struggle lay beneath the surface. And today, we pull back the curtain. We dive into the story of Teyana Taylor like you've never seen it before. A story of love, illusion, secrets, and the unforgiving glare of fame. Stay with me, because every beat counts. From her earliest days in Harlem, Teyana Taylor carried a fire. Born December 10, 1990 in New York City, she stepped into life not quietly, but with purpose. Wikipedia. She wasn't just singing, she was battling expectations, battling a music industry that often said, not now, not her, not like that. She made her mark as a singer, dancer, choreographer, model, true multi-talented. Wikipedia. Her journey wasn't smooth. There were contract issues, creative holds, moments when she felt boxed in, but she refused to stay boxed. She found love early on, intertwined with her career. In 2013, she began dating NBA star Iman Shumpert, a relationship that seemed like it could be the perfect balance: music, sport, art, family. They married in 2016 and welcomed 2 beautiful daughters. Wikipedia. At first, the world watched the couple with admiration. The dance videos, the family posts, the strength she carried as a woman who was not just wife and mother, but creator, artist, force of nature. But behind the curated feed, something was shifting. The gloss began to fade. She was still the star, still elegant, still making power moves, but something inside her yearned for truth. She wasn't willing to play the part of the flawless celebrity. She was human. She had instincts. She had pain. And that pain would soon show in ways no one expected. Here's where the twist comes in. The incident, the breaking point, came not with a thunderclap, but a crack in the mirror. It started with rumors. In 2023, allegations surfaced that Iman Shumpert had been unfaithful, accused of cheating while married to Teyana Taylor. Foxy99.com. The whispers gathered volume. The blogs chimed in. Social media exploded, and Teyana had to decide: stay silent and protect, or speak and risk collapse. Her choice? To speak. She announced that she and Iman had been separated for a while, and that infidelity was not one of the reasons. EW.com. But what she didn't say in public, what the world couldn't fully grasp, was what was being said behind the scenes. The image of a power couple had begun to crack. The business of relationships, of co-parenting, of fame and identity, all colliding. The Times of India. And that's when the real drama began. What followed was one of the most public divorces for an R&B/hip-hop star in recent memory. Court filings, legal fees, accusations of contract breaches. In August 2025, Teyana was ordered to pay $70,000 in legal fees after being found in contempt of court for violating the agreement by leaking details. Los Angeles Times. Suddenly, the headlines read, not just divorce, but legal war, betrayal, financial warfare. But here's the twist: it wasn't just legal. It became emotional. It became about her identity, about her value, about being a Black woman in the spotlight who built so much, yet found herself battling the very system she had risen in. She accused Iman publicly of emotional and mental abuse in some filings. New York Post. The public watched them once dance and shine. Now they watch them unravel. In the midst of it all, Teyana's career still surged. Yet the pressure was suffocating. She had to juggle motherhood, art, media scrutiny, and the constant need to shape her narrative. The moment she thought she had made it, she realized the story she was living was someone else's version of her. The incident was not a single event, but a series of reveals: financial disclosures, intimate conversations, leaked texts, court documents, Instagram stories. Suddenly, fans weren't just seeing the music video or red carpet stroll, they were seeing the raw behind the scenes, and it wasn't pretty. The betrayal cut deeper because it wasn't just about love lost, it was about trust, about dreams deferred, about a foundation she thought was solid crumbling. A daughter watching, a community watching, a woman wanting peace. She found herself negotiating things she never signed up for: emotional labor, business entanglements, parenting solo while still being a public figure. The incident highlighted a painful truth. In fame and fortune, sometimes the hardest battle is protecting your soul. And the suspense kept building. How much would she give up? How much would she fight? What would she lose? She didn't just lose a spouse, she lost the illusion of the perfect life. She lost the comfort of silence. She lost faith in what she thought was unshakable. Yet what she gained, though the world may not fully see, is a warrior's heart, battered but not broken. The emotional impact is what makes this story more than tabloid noise. For Teyana Taylor, the woman, not just the star, this incident forced reckoning. Her daughters, their innocence, touched by headlines. Her career, still shining, but now with the shadow of scrutiny. Her family home, her image, her self-worth, all wounding. Imagine fighting for your voice while everyone expects you to stay silent. Imagine building your empire and still feeling the weight of being undervalued. That was her world. The incident didn't just injure her relationship, it challenged her identity. She found herself asking, who am I when the cameras aren't rolling? What happens when the music pauses? What does love mean when it's tangled with business, when trust is traded like a contract? And for fans, that shimmer of fantasy, the perfect wife, the artist on top, the creative woman in control, cracked open. They saw the human. They saw the tears, the court filings, the legal jargon, the longing for peace. It hit hard because it reminded us, even in the glitzy world of fame, pain is real, betrayal is real, and the fight to hold on to yourself is real. For her children, it meant new dynamics: co-parenting under public gaze, private heartbreak behind public strength. For her career, it meant leaning into the music, the art, the movement that has always been her truth. For her soul, it meant healing, rediscovery, a reckoning with love that looked like a dream but felt like a trap. This incident, yes, shattered illusions, but it also birthed clarity. When you hit bottom, you either break or you rebuild. And Teyana chose rebuild. She chose to stand tall when the world expected her collapse. She chose to speak when the world expected her silence. She chose truth when the world was buying image. And so we arrive at the ending. Not an ending, really, but a turning point. Because Teyana Taylor's story isn't done. The shock of the incident, the drama of the courtrooms, the betrayal of trust, those things are chapters, not the whole book. What lies ahead is her reclaiming everything she is. A mother, a creator, a Black woman unapologetically writing her own narrative. Think about this. A star that used to shine through choreography, through music videos, through the stage, now shining through survival. It's more potent. It's more human. The real power of this moment is not that she fell. The power is that she's rising again. With scars, yes. With stories, yes. But with ownership. Ownership of her voice, her story, her life. What happened to her with Iman, the settlement, the legal fight? They matter, but they do not define her. What defines her now is what she does with it, how she uses this chapter to propel her next one, how she uses pain to spark purpose, how she uses betrayal to fuel authenticity. So remember, when you hear her name next, when you see her on screen or hear her in song, know the layers beneath the gloss. Know the battles she fought when the music stopped and the lights dimmed.
Know the woman who refused to let a broken foundation become the end of her story. And ask yourself, when truth hits you in the face, when the world expects you to fold, will you? Or will you stand back up? Teyana Taylor's story is not just entertainment. It's a reminder that even stars bleed, that even kings and queens lose crowns. But it's also a declaration that rising after the fall is the bravest act of all. And if you want to know what comes next, stay tuned. The next chapter is hers to write.